Let's talk about that feeling, that quiet, nagging exhaustion that comes from trying so hard. The feeling of scrolling through a world of perfect faces and perfect lives and being left with the silent, sinking thought, I am not enough. It's the frustration of looking in the mirror and seeing only a list of things to be fixed. The constant low-grade anxiety of feeling like you are falling behind in a race you never even signed up for. If you know that feeling, that deep ache of self-criticism, and the endless chase for an ideal that always seems just out of reach, then I want you to know two things. First, you are not alone in this, not even close. And second, the freedom you are so desperately looking for does not come from another diet, another product, or another procedure. We have been taught to believe that if we could just perfect our reflection, we would finally feel worthy, finally feel at peace. But what if that is the fundamental lie? What if the problem isn't your body, your face, or your age? What if the real problem is the story you've been taught to believe about yourself? In this video, we are going on a journey to find a different way, a gentler, more loving, and more powerful truth. We are not going to talk about how to fix your appearance. We are going to explore how to heal your relationship with yourself. If you have ever longed to look in the mirror and feel not judgment, but a deep and lasting sense of peace, if you are ready to finally lay down the heavy weight of criticism and come home to yourself, then stay with me. The answer you've been searching for is right here. Hello, and welcome back to Ethera Ascending. I want to begin by asking you a gentle question, not for me, but for you. When was the last time you met yourself in the mirror? I don't mean checked your reflection or analyzed the lines around your eyes. I mean, when did you last look into your own eyes and simply meet yourself? Greet the person looking back at you without a list of flaws, without an immediate agenda for improvement. If that question feels a little strange, or if the answer is I can't remember, you are not alone. We are living in a hall of digital mirrors. From the moment we wake up and scroll through images of others, to the video calls where our own face is a constant fixture in the corner of the screen, we are in a state of perpetual self-observation. And with observation comes judgment. It is a silent, humming pressure, a quiet performance we never consciously signed up for, yet we feel its weight in our bones. It's the subtle exhaustion that comes from never feeling quite right in our own skin, and it leads us to the great, aching question that sits in the heart of so many of us. Why does this matter so much? Why does the pursuit of external beauty hold such power over our lives, our joy, and our peace? To understand this deep human longing, we have to travel back in time, far beyond our current culture. This isn't a modern invention. The search for beauty is woven into the very fabric of our history, as fundamental as the search for truth, for goodness, for meaning. Ancient philosophers like Plato believed that the universe itself was built on a kind of divine architecture, held together by three inseparable ideas: the good, the true, and the beautiful. Let's think of the good as the beauty of the soul. It is the source of all moral excellence. It is integrity, justice, courage, and compassion. It's that deep inner resonance we feel when an action is fundamentally right. It is the harmony of a life lived with purpose and virtue. Then there is the true. Think of this as the beauty of the mind. It is the underlying order of the universe, the clarity of an honest moment, the elegant simplicity of a profound idea. It is the deep, satisfying aha when we grasp reality as it is, free from illusion. It is the harmony of understanding. And finally, there is the beautiful. For Plato, this was the great gateway. This was the only one of the three that our physical senses could directly perceive. It was the physical manifestation, the visible echo of the good and the true. Here is the magic of how they are woven together. Plato believed we couldn't just look at pure goodness or pure truth, but we could feel their presence when they shone through a physical form. An act of selfless courage is profoundly beautiful because it makes the abstract value of the good visible. The intricate, perfect geometry of a snowflake is beautiful because it makes the invisible principle of the true tangible. A piece of music that moves us to tears is beautiful because its mathematical truth and its emotional goodness become one. Beauty wasn't about having a pleasing face or a perfect form. It was the soul's recognition of harmony. It was the feeling of rightness, of order, of a deeper truth made visible. To witness true beauty in a sunset, in a selfless act, in a perfectly crafted poem, was to feel a resonance in your own soul, a momentary connection to the very essence of life. So you see, the good and the true always lead us back to the beautiful, because beauty is their language. It is how the soul recognizes its home here on earth. It is the sensory experience that awakens a deeper longing in us for the goodness and truth it represents. And this is the vital distinction our modern world has taught us to forget. We have become utterly obsessed with the language, while forgetting what it is trying to tell us. We have confused two very different kinds of beauty. The first is aesthetic beauty. This is the beauty of the senses alone, disconnected from its deeper source. It is defined by culture, shaped by trends, and by its very nature, it is impermanent. The celebrated body of the Renaissance is not the celebrated body of the 1990s, which is not the celebrated body of today. To attach our sense of self-worth to this ever-shifting sand is to build our home on a foundation that is guaranteed to wash away. But there is another kind of beauty. Let's call it beauty as a value. This is the beauty of our inner world, a beauty that is a direct expression of our connection to the good and the true. It is the invisible architecture of a well-lived life. It is the quiet grace of integrity, the unshakable strength of resilience, the warmth of a compassionate heart. This beauty does not fade with time. It deepens. It is the harmony of the soul, and it is timeless. So why do we pour our life force, our precious energy, into chasing the fleeting reflection while neglecting the eternal source? The answer lies in a tender and often wounded part of ourselves, the ego. The ego is the part of us that learned long ago that its safety and survival depended on external approval. Its deepest fear is that it is not enough, and it spends its life searching for validation, for proof that it is worthy of love and belonging. The desire to be seen as beautiful becomes its most powerful tool. It whispers to us that if we can just perfect our outer shell, we will finally be safe, finally be loved, finally be whole. But the ego is a hungry ghost. It can never be satisfied. When we operate from this place of lack, the pursuit of perfection becomes a vicious cycle. We feel inadequate, so we seek an external fix, a diet, a procedure, a new product. We may get a temporary hit of validation, a fleeting moment of approval, but soon the feeling of inadequacy returns, often stronger than before, because the root of the problem was never on the outside to begin with. This generates physical and psychological disharmony. We are chasing perfection out of a feeling of lack, and that feeling of lack simply intensifies the more we try to fill it with external fixes. And this is the heartbreaking moment when we cross a crucial line. We shift from lovingly caring for our body to relentlessly punishing it. The gym becomes a place of penance, not joy. Food becomes a source of anxiety, not nourishment. The mirror becomes a courtroom where we are both the merciless judge and the convicted criminal. But what if there is another way? A path that leads not to a more perfect reflection, but to a more peaceful home within ourselves. This path begins with one of the most powerful and nourishing concepts ever offered to us, the practice of radical self-esteem. And here, we turn to the wisdom of the great teacher, Louise Hay. She built her life's work on a simple revolutionary premise. Our entire experience of life is a direct reflection of the thoughts we think and the words we speak, especially about ourselves. She taught us to see the profound difference between caring for our bodies because we love them and trying to fix our bodies because we hate them. An act of love is motivated by a desire to nurture. It leads to health, to vitality, to a feeling of wholeness. An act of hate is motivated by shame and criticism. It leads to stress, to deprivation, and to a perpetual state of dissatisfaction. The deep tragedy is that this relentless criticism we aim at our bodies doesn't stay contained there. It seeps into every corner of our lives, poisoning our relationships, dimming our creativity, and convincing us that our worth is conditional. So, where do we begin this journey back to love? Louise Hay's first and most crucial instruction is this: you must stop the criticism. Stop it now. Stop it completely. The voice of criticism has never, not once, created lasting positive change. It is like trying to grow a beautiful garden by pouring salt on the soil. All it does is reinforce the painful core belief that you are fundamentally flawed. Instead, she invites us to adopt what we might call the beloved child rule. I want you to genuinely pause and consider this. Think of a small child you love dearly or a cherished friend. Now listen to the things your inner critic says to you when you look in the mirror. Would you ever, under any circumstances, speak those words to that beloved person? The answer is, of course, no. You would offer them comfort. You would remind them of their goodness, of their strength. You would treat them with unconditional kindness. The journey of self-love is simply the process of learning, as an adult, to finally offer that same profound kindness to yourself. This isn't a quick fix. It is a gentle daily practice. It is a conscious turning toward love. So how do we walk this path? First, we must embrace the idea that the point of power is always in the present moment. So many of us live in a state of postponed self-acceptance. We tell ourselves, I will love myself when I lose 10 pounds. I will feel worthy when I get that promotion. I will be happy when my life looks a certain way. This when-then model is a trap. It keeps your self-worth forever in the future, just out of reach. The practice here is to make a courageous choice, to love and approve of yourself right here, right now. Not because you are perfect, but because you are here. This acceptance is the fertile ground from which all true and lasting change can grow. Second, we learn to befriend the mirror. For years, it has been an object of judgment. We can transform it into a tool of profound healing. This is the famous mirror work from Louise Hay. It is simple. It can feel deeply uncomfortable, and it is life-changing. Go to a mirror, look past the surface and into your own eyes. Take a breath and say out loud, "I love you. I really, truly love you." And then, "I accept you deeply and completely, exactly as you are." The first time you do this, your inner critic might scream. Your mind might call it foolish. That's okay. That's just the old programming fighting to survive. Do it anyway. Do it every single day. You are gently and lovingly rewiring decades of self-criticism. You are planting new seeds. Third, we practice radical forgiveness. So many of us are carrying the heavy weight of resentment toward ourselves. We resent our past mistakes. We resent our bodies for not looking the way we want them to. Louise taught that forgiveness is not something we do for the other person. It is an act of self-liberation. The practice is to say, either out loud or in writing, "I forgive myself for holding on to this judgment for so long. I release the past. I am free." Forgive your body. Thank it for carrying you through this life, for breathing for you, for healing your wounds, for doing its absolute best every single day. To forgive is to set down a burden you were never meant to carry. And finally, we shift our focus from what we look like to who we are. We begin a practice of recognizing our inner beauty. This connects us back to that timeless, platonic idea of beauty as a value. Every evening, take a moment to write down 3 things you genuinely appreciate about your character from that day. I admire my patience in that difficult conversation. I am grateful for my resilience when things didn't go as planned. I appreciate the kindness I showed to the cashier. This practice slowly and surely shifts your sense of identity. You begin to realize that you are not a body to be perfected, but a soul to be expressed. Your foundation shifts from the shifting sands of appearance to the solid rock of your character. Now, it is so important to pause here for a moment and be very clear about what this means in our daily lives. This journey into self-love is not a call for neglect. It is not an invitation to ignore your physical self. In fact, it is the exact opposite. It is an invitation to begin caring for your body from the most powerful and sustainable place there is, a place of genuine love and respect. So keep moving your body. Go to the gym, take a walk, dance in your living room, but notice the shift in intention. You are no longer going to the gym to punish a body you hate, but to celebrate a body you love. Feel the difference? One is an act of war. The other is an act of gratitude. You move not out of a desperate need to burn calories, but out of a joyful desire to feel your own strength and vitality. Continue to nourish yourself with wonderful food. But again, notice the shift. You are no longer operating from a rigid set of rules, of good and bad, of guilt and restriction. You are beginning a loving conversation with your body. You ask it, what would make you feel wonderful and energized today? You eat in a way that honors your health, not as a punishment for being imperfect, but as a gift to the sacred vessel that carries you through this life. This is the ultimate reframe. Self-care ceases to be another chore on your to-do list, another way you can fail. It transforms into an act of devotion, treating your body with kindness, giving it the rest it needs, the nourishment it craves, the movement it enjoys. This is no longer about fixing a project. This is about cherishing your home. It is the most beautiful act of self-love you can practice. As we bring our time together to a close, let's return to the beginning, to the reflection in the mirror, the great, beautiful, and sometimes difficult truth of this life is that everything changes. Everything in the physical world is temporary. The seasons of our bodies will change. That is the nature of nature itself, to build our entire sense of self on a form that is, by design, impermanent, is a recipe for endless anxiety and sorrow. But the other beauty, the beauty of your essence, of your spirit, that is not subject to time, your true lasting beauty, lies in the architecture of your soul. It is in your capacity for love. It is in the courage you show in the face of fear. It is in the wisdom you gain from your wounds. It is in the unique light that only you can bring to this world, simply by living your most authentic truth. So, the invitation is this: cultivate that. Nurture your inner world with the same dedication you've been taught to apply to your outer world, because that is the radiance that will never fade. That is the warmth that will not only comfort you, but will shine out and warm everyone you meet. That is the beauty that makes you truly and eternally beautiful. It is the home you carry within.